Welcome to the GSP Church News. This conference year, the Greater St. Paul family are happy to welcome Pastor Sapp and First Family into the fold. Happy birthday and anniversary to everyone born or married in the month of November. Join us for the Bible Discovery Hour Sundays at 9:15 a.m. sharp, in person, on Zoom, and Facebook Live. Join us for part 2 of the dynamic topical Bible study, Finding Mary Moments in a Martha World, this Wednesday at 7 p.m. via Zoom. Volunteers are still needed. Volunteer and make a difference. The following ministries need you. The social media ministry is looking for volunteers 15 years of age and up. If you love taking pictures in social media, this is the ministry for you. See Pastor Sapp if you're interested. The media ministry is in need of more volunteers. If you're interested in production, this is the ministry for you. See Sister Michaela or Sister Shandy if you're interested. If you love people and are approachable, the hospitality ministry is looking for you. Please see Sister Kathy Harris if you are interested in that ministry. And finally, the GSP youth are on the move. We begin new youth ministries in January and need volunteers for Parents' Night Out and Sunday Morning Children's Church. Please see Evangelist Jane Jackson or Sister Shandy to volunteer. Let us remember to lift in prayer Sally Waters, who is recovering from a bad fall, and the family of Connie Riggleman for the loss of her father. Also, GSP has a prayer line. Call in to listen to intercessory prayer by Pastor Sapp Tuesday through Saturday at 8 p.m., where she is praying for congregation and community. And then call in on Monday and Fridays at 9 a.m. for community prayer meeting, led by Evangelist Jane and Sister Joanne. Remember, little prayer, little power, big prayer, big power. Sister Ayani is the winner of our social media promotion contest and collected her $100 prize or promotional fee. She posted on Instagram and received over 50 likes by that Sunday afternoon. Will she remain in the winner spot for November? We'll see. November is National Adoption Awareness Month. This third Sunday will be our Adoption Awareness themed service. If you know anyone working or parenting in the field of adoption or fostering that we could honor, please let Pastor Sapp know ASAP. Greater St. Paul is pleased to announce that we now have a Cash App. Our Cash App tag is $seeds, the number 4 GSP. That's $SEEDS, the number 4 GSP. GSP can now receive contributions via Zelle. Use the church email address boyntonbeachblessing@gmail.com. Again, that's boyntonbeachblessing@gmail.com. All baptisms will be scheduled for the second Sunday of the month. This month, we have one candidate for baptism, Kalani Rose Sapp, Pastor Sapp's youngest grandchild. If you would like to schedule a baptism, please see Sister Ann McCurdy. Don't forget to invite someone to church. The person who brings the most guests by the end of the month will be awarded by God and the GSP Church. Greater St. Paul partners with the Charmettes to prepare Thanksgiving baskets for cancer survivors. We need volunteers on November 19th at 8:45 a.m. to assemble the baskets, and we need donations of canned goods and chicken roasters. Contact Sister Joanne Rogers or Sister Corrine Odoms for more info. Please take note of our finance report for the month of October.
Turn now to an incredible story this Veterans Day, decades in the making, about America's first Black Marines. They are finally getting the recognition they deserve in a documentary called Our America, Mission Montford Point, and are working to piece together the past.
This beautiful photograph, my handsome grandfather, Private Maurice Burns, very handsome gentleman.
Mallory Berger always knew her late grandfather was a U.S. veteran, but it wasn't until last year that she learned about his historic legacy.
Something led me to believe that, you know what, I think Papa is what we called him, was a Montford Pointer.
The Montford Point Marines, the country's first Black Marines. You see, up until 1942, Black men were not allowed to join the Corps.
They were the best and the brightest and the toughest. And I said, that's me.
An estimated 20,000 strong, but the U.S. military failed to keep records for all but 2,000 of them.
Hundreds of military records were lost due to a major fire. But even before the fire, There was no indication that there was a complete record.
That's 18,000 pioneering American heroes nearly forgotten until now.
I used to be offended when I would read about the Tuskegee Airmen and Buffalo Soldiers. I said, they're all recognized. I don't see no Black Marines. That used to bother me.
Berger and many others are on a mission to find the remaining living Montford Point Marines and the families of the deceased.
Majority of Montford Pointers are in their 90s or older. And we know that there will come a point when there won't be any of them. But we still have to figure out how we keep the story alive.
Their story, one of adversity. Those first Marines segregated from their white counterparts, facing brutal discrimination during training and deployment.
Once you came in that gate, you forgot about your name because you were either boy or
And the whole idea was to frustrate you so much that you would either quit and go home or stay in.
20,000 stayed, many deployed to combat missions during World War II.
President Roosevelt. He says, men, you have broken records that the white Marines have had for years. Send them overseas.
In 2011, the United States government finally acknowledged their achievements, awarding the Congressional Gold Medal collectively to the Montford Point Marines.
Very emotional day to be, for the first time, recognized.
And this year, on the 80th anniversary, 5 original members and 11 families of deceased Montford Pointers received replicas of that Congressional Gold Medal.
I stood on the shoulders of my grandfather. To see them, to see the ones that are still here, it is just, it's like reaching back in history and knowing I came from that. I came from them, and it's utterly amazing.
So it reads, for outstanding perseverance and courage that inspired social change in the Marine Corps.
If I could say anything to my grandfather today, we did it. We did it.
To our veterans, happy Veterans Day. Brother Lionel Monsanto, the Army. Michael Jermaine Jones, son of Jimmy and Joanne Rogers, the Navy. Drill Sergeant Nicilia Acevedo, daughter of Sister Sharon Acevedo. Ramar Harvin, father of Pastor Sapp, the Air Force. Dwight Van Williams, brother of Joanne Rogers, the Army. Curtis Williams, husband of Sister Jeannie Williams, the Navy. Daryl T. White, nephew of Sister Corrine Odoms, the Army. Donald R. Stakes, nephew of Sister Corrine Odoms, the Air Force. Curtis Williams, brother of Sister Joanne Rogers, the Army. GSP Church honors you, and we thank you for your service.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce a man who needs no introduction. His credits are too long to list. He has done the impossible time after time. He hails out of a manger in Bethlehem, Jerusalem, by way of heaven. His mother is still headlining in the Catholic Church today. His daddy is the author of a book that has been on the bestseller list since the beginning of time. He holds the record for the world's greatest fish fry. He fed 5,000 hungry souls with 2 fish, 5 loaves of bread. He can walk on water, turn water into wine. No special effects, no camera tricks. He has a headshot on every church fan across the country. Even before the kings of comedy, he was hailed the king of all kings, ruler of the universe, Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end, the bright and the morning star. Some say he's the Rose of Sharon, and some say he's the Prince of Peace. Get up on your feet. Put your hands together and show your love for the second coming of the one and only.
This concludes the GSP Church News for this week.